Good morning and welcome to Wake Up to Broker Up with Mark, episode number 38 for 2025. Wow, another weekend of talking about roofs. Thanks for all the feedback I got, especially the email feedback. And I'm going to talk about the first issue with roofs. Has nothing to do with roofs, nothing to do with insurance companies, nothing to do with buyers, and nothing to do with sellers. What it has to do is us. Yep, I could tell by the comments that I received by email that a lot of you resent the fact that a perfectly good roof that's older than 10 years old needs to be replaced. You know what? I agree with you. However, the insurance companies think otherwise. So you can advocate for your client, for the seller, you can advocate for the buyer, and try to make sure that you get things done and that they'll go ahead and insure a roof that's that age. But the better thing to do is to make it part of your psyche, because you can't get offended by something that you don't think is right. And the reason I say that is because sellers are depending on us as our buyers to give our best advice no matter what the circumstances are. And you've heard me say this before, keep your eyes on the solution, not on the problem. And so many of you wanted to focus squarely on the problem, and the problem is unreasonable insurance companies that will make you replace a roof that doesn't leak and otherwise has plenty of life left on it. You know what? Again, I agree. But every time you make that an issue with the buyer or with the seller, you cause yourself problems. Put your personal feelings aside and look towards the solution. And the solution may be as simple as Robert Williamson, our vice president and broker at Cherokee Woodstock office, said, you know, with every problem, there's a solution. And with every problem, there's an opportunity. Yep, there's plenty of opportunity here. Partner with some roofing companies. Get a bunch of different estimates for any one property. Find roofing companies that will do the work and get paid at closing. It's only a problem when it comes down to roofs if the seller doesn't have the money to replace it out of pocket, and if the buyer can't figure out a way to negotiate it as part of the transaction. Otherwise, it can be solved. Roofing company comes, strips off the old roof, puts on a new roof, everybody gets paid, including us, and everybody lives happily ever after, and the buyer has a brand new roof that's insurable. You know, given the run-up that we've had on prices since COVID, so for the last 5 years, we've got a lot of equity in properties, and most of them, even if they replace the roof 10, 15 years ago, can afford to do it again. Let's not let our bias get in the way of that happening. Cool, calm, and professional. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.